I've been a mom for almost 10 years now, and I met my husband when I was 16. It is safe to say that I have never been alone. Hello, beautiful people. I get the house to myself today. Sweet, glorious silence. I know, it's amazing, it's a gift. And so I went to do my makeup, and I thought, why not do a little chit-chat, get ready with me situation. I'm wearing this cute purple ripped sweater that I got, oh my gosh, years ago at TJ Maxx back in Columbus. And I wore it out for like a date night, I think, with like Aiden and some friends. And I think that was like the last time I wore it. I might have worn it like one other time, but I don't think so. So I was getting dressed this morning and I saw this. I was like, let me wear her for a little cute moment to bring her back out. So I'm feeling all the purple. So I'm gonna do purple makeup to match my purple outfit. If you're new to my channel and have not seen my other videos, I am married with 5 kids. My family and I, a year ago, moved from Columbus to Dallas, so we currently live in Dallas, Texas. If you have seen some of my other videos, like our family vlogs and stuff, you may or may not have been able to tell that we are a pretty young family. No, is this black? Why did I get doing this? Oh no, it's just brown. Whew. Why is this coming off so dark? Am I crazy? So I am 28 and my husband is 30. He'll be 31 actually this year. We have 5 babies and they are 9, almost 8, 6, 4, and 2. And I know you're thinking, Kels, OMG, those are really close numbers. You basically just said 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know. I met my husband when I was 16. We got engaged when I was 17 and we got married when I was 18. I got pregnant at 18 but had turned 19 before I had our first daughter, and then pretty much had babies back to back after that. My husband and I both grew up in big families. I come from a family of 10. My husband comes from a family of 7. So when we got married, we knew that we wanted to have multiple kids. Our number was 5. We almost stopped short at 4. Our 4th almost took us out, or almost took me out. But we persevered. We had number 5. But going into it, my husband and I knew that we wanted multiple kids in a larger than average family. And that's like what we set out to do. Pretty much. I did not start off on birth control or anything. I mean, we got married very young, so my body entered womanhood and immediately started putting cis to work. And I think that's like how I felt by the time I got to like baby number 4. I think that's what I was like, or I know that that's what I was feeling. I know now that that's what I was feeling mentally. At the time, I did not know. But I know now that what I was feeling was just like the mental, just like, how do I phrase this? The like mental stress. Like being pregnant only puts physical stress on your body, but mental stress on my body. And I think at baby number 4, popping those babies out back to back was putting so much like mental stress on me that I didn't even realize, and it like caught up to me with baby number 4 that I was like, whoa, we need to slow down. We need a little break in between this. But something, because I come from a big family, because my husband comes from a big family, something that people often ask is like, are you gonna have any more kids? Are you gonna have as many kids as like your parents and like family had? And I mean, when I was younger, which yes, people ask me this when I was literally like 10 all the way until I got today, all the way until today. people still ask me these things. Which I think as a child and a teenager, that's a wild thing to ask a child and a teenager. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have as many as your mom? Girl, I'm learning algebra. I don't know how you want me to answer that. I literally, like, just bought my first pad for my freaking period, man. I don't know what... I don't know anything. Why are you asking me this? I'm a child. So, like, I always had that, which that was more, like, annoying to answer as I got older, and I realized that was, like, a wildly inappropriate thing to ask a child. And my mom, like, if my mom was around when they asked, she was like, I mean, like, she's gonna do whatever she wants, and when the time comes, like, sis, why are you asking her this? you weirdo. But like, I grew up in a big family, so like, not that like I planned, because I didn't have like my number of how many kids that like we wanted until Aiden and I got together, and like we talked about it. What I'm trying to say is I grew up in a big family, so I was comfortable with a big family. I'm comfortable with a big family. I'm comfortable with multiple people. That's been like my life. Like, I'm comfortable with that. That's what I know. So not that like I necessarily planned that like I wouldn't have these millions of kids at that time when I was younger, obviously, because I was younger. But I've been like, I think I've always been okay with having a bigger family because I enjoyed having a big family. And my husband felt the same. Like, he came from a bigger family. He always wanted his family to be, or as he got older, he wanted like his family to be closer than what they were. And so he wanted to like create his own family and make them closer and do some of the things that like he didn't get to do and yada yada yada. And like, I was for that. So like, I was never against, even though like when I got to baby number 4 and like the stress and everything kicked in, I never at that point was like, oh my god, what did I do? We went too fast. I don't like, why did we do this? Like, this is insane. Like, we had so many babies so quickly. Like, I never felt like any regret of how quickly we had the kids. Like, that's what we wanted. We knew we loved each other. We knew we wanted to start a family. So that's what we did. And we didn't let age hold us back from that. And we were serious about it. And that's like the thing that I feel like if people ask me now, like, would you let your daughter get engaged at 17? Maybe. It depends on her maturity. I mean, like, first of all, I can't stop them. If you're growing, you make that decision. But like, I don't know, it depends on your maturity. It depends if you're being realistic. You're not going to know everything about life until you start doing life. But if you're open enough to the fact that, hey, 1, I don't know, but 2, I want to learn and I want to do it, and I want to do it with this person, then I think go for it. Like, go for it. I mean, I think there's like people who are grown who still have that hesitation of, I don't know if I want to go for it. What will it look like with our lives coming together? Yada, yada, yada. Like, and those are valid things to think about, but I feel like letting those hold you back for years on end, like those valid thoughts, is very detrimental to you. So yeah, I never like regretted having multiple kids so quickly, and I still don't regret that, and I don't regret getting married early. It's amazing. Something I have thought about from time to time though, also, if you haven't noticed, I'm just like all kind of the same topic, but I'm kind of just jumping around, you know, so buckle in. You might get some whiplash, but we're chit-chatting. We're just chatting, girls, so just sit back and relax. We're just chatting. Oh, I cracked myself up. I am a very like introspective, like reflecting person. I think I just used that correctly. If not, I've said it, it's out there. But I'm very like, I'm always like in my thoughts, and not like stuck in my head. Like, some people get stuck in their head and they're constantly thinking so much that they can't like even make a choice or a decision or come up with an opinion. But like, I'm constantly like, okay, Kalea, why do you feel this way? Why do you think that? What do you think this experience is gonna be like? Like, what do you think about this? How does that actually make you feel? Like, why are you frustrated? Like, I like to do that and like sit with my thoughts and emotions and really like question myself and question things about my life and question my decisions and actually be honest with my decisions and like my thought process and why I didn't do something. So like, because I do that, I have like thought about like, 1, am I afraid to like be alone? Because I've always been with someone or multiple people. Literally, I went straight from a family of 12 to my husband. In our relationship, we were close to my family, so we were still around my family like all the time, to then creating our own family with multiple kids. So I'm not constantly surrounded by 6 other people. And so like, I think about that and like, I ask myself that question, like, am I afraid to be alone because I've gone from like one thing to one thing? And I feel like that question is, 1, kind of hard to answer because I've never been alone. But 2, even though it's hard to answer, I think right now I can say no, that I don't feel like, because I haven't made, I love my family, but I am not the type of person that makes like my family and my kids and like even my husband like my whole identity in my world. So I feel like when people do that, it's a detriment to themselves, because then you rely on those people to sustain you, and that's not what I choose to sustain me. Like I said, I absolutely love and adore my family and would do any and everything for them, and I think my family knows that, and I think I do a good job of like showing that. But like I don't make them the center of my world, so it's not like when, let's say, the kids grow up and start moving out, which is, I know, a very long time down the road, but like say that happens, I don't think I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I'm used to having a loud house. Like I don't think I'll have like an identity crisis like that. But I think that also shows like a look into Aiden and I's relationship, because like we aren't just like husband and wife, like we're best friends. So I think that goes a really long way too, where it's like, okay, even when it does come to that time, it'll be sad. One, I think it'll be a little sad to not have constantly like hear little people in your house or your kids come to you. I think it'll be amazing. Don't get me wrong, I think it'll be great, but I also think there'll be moments where we'll be like, oh, like no one's asking us to change their diaper or make them a sandwich type thing. But I also think the way that we're raising our kids, that they'll be around us because they'll want to be around us, not because they feel like they have to. And I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be a beautiful thing to be able to get to know like my kids as they get older. So like, I think that's really good. But yeah, I don't lean on my family in that way. I don't hold them, excuse me, I don't hold them on like such high of a pedestal that's like, this is my life and I need this and yada yada yada. Like I don't do that with like my kids and my family. So I think like that helps with me not feeling alone, like being like afraid to be alone. So yeah, I've sat with like those thoughts of like, am I afraid to be alone type thing, and also like asking myself like, do I regret doing everything I did so quickly? And no, like I don't feel like, oh, I did this so fast, I didn't get to enjoy my 20s, I didn't get to do, like, I think I've been so blessed with the people that I have in my life, like my friend group specifically, and like the group of girls that I was doing life with before I moved. Like we had girls' nights, we went out, just us, we did things with our kids. I would go over to like my best friend's house and we would sit and let our kids play and do snack and watch movies and play game stuff, and we would sit on the couch and just talk for like hours and just like sit, and like we would be there longer than we thought we were gonna be there, and she'd be like, no worries, like I have a bed that like your baby can take a nap in, and we would just like do that and just like hang out. We had one day where a couple of my friends like came over to our house, and she brought, like, she makes like amazing coffee, and she brought her coffee machine. She literally brought her whole big like coffee machine and like stuff to make all the moms that were there like drink, like stuff like that. Like I think that's such a rare like friend group to have, that like where you can literally actually do life with someone and or a group of people and actually be yourself around them, and like let everyone bring their kids, and everyone's like okay with the kids just like being kids. Like our conversation's gonna get interrupted. It is. We're not gonna get to finish the conversation. And guess what, sis? That's okay. And we all are just like, oh, that's okay. Or it's like, oh, give me a second, I need to go change a diaper. Oh, sure, okay, whatever. Or I need to take a call. Like, I think having that gave me like balance, so I never felt like, oh, I don't have any friends, or I missed out on this, or I missed out on that, or I don't get to do, like, I think that really helped and was huge to be able to like have that in like those people. And I really miss that now, but I think having older kids makes it a little bit easier. I mean, like, we're still finding our tribe here in Dallas, but I think the younger years when the kids were much younger, that was so like, I needed that. So like having that was definitely huge, and being able to keep like my personality, because I think it's very easy for women to get married and lose their personality, or start having kids and lose their personality because you're diving in and you're trying to merge your life with someone else, or you're trying to nurture and literally grow another human or multiple people, and it's hard and it's easy to like lose yourself, and it can be hard to, it's easy to lose yourself and it can be hard to get that back. And fortunately that hasn't been like my struggle of like, I've had times of like trying to get myself back and get back into habits and things that I like doing, but fortunately for me, I've been so blessed that it's never been that hard, where I have literally felt like empty and not myself, and like I just put my life into this and I don't get to do anything for myself. Like I've never felt that way on a very heavy extreme level. And I know that that's like not common. So like I don't want to take that for granted. Like I know, like I said, like it's super common for like the opposite to be true. And I'm just have been so blessed that that's not been my experience where I've ever felt like I've lost myself. So when I sit and like ask myself those questions of like, do I regret doing everything I did so young? I can easily say, no, I don't. Like I feel like I've been in step with what I'm supposed to be doing in my life, with what God has laid out for me to do. And like, am I afraid to be alone? Like I said, I mean, it's kind of hard to answer that question because I'm not alone, but I think I can say no. Like I don't think when the kids get older, I don't think I'll like want for them because they're tied to my identity. I don't think I'll long for that in that way. I think I'll long for it as, oh my gosh, like I watched this person learn and grow, and like now I have to let them go, and they're gonna go do their thing, and they're gonna come to me and their dad for like advice and like a safe space. And that's what I think I'm excited about more, is to be like their safe space and their wisdom and their guidance as I start to do adult stuff, and not like oh, they don't need me anymore and I lost my purpose. I don't think that's gonna be it at all. If anything, I don't have adult children, but if anything, I think that like your kids need you more when they get to that age and they're like, okay, I'm doing real life stuff, and like, what do I do? And so I'm excited to like go down that journey with them too. And again, I know I have a while before that comes, but like I'm excited to do that with them. Another thing I think that's made it so that like I don't feel like I regret my decision of starting a family and getting married and everything so early is that like Aiden and I's dream was to have a family and get married because we loved each other. But again, I think it just goes back to like we don't make our kids our identity, and I think that's huge. And I think that's hard, like not to like shame the people who do, because I think that it's hard. I think it's hard to like not create these people and make them the center of your world. But when you do that, you're like taking away from who you are and who you were created to be, and just the beauty of who you are as a person and an individual. Like you morph yourself to these other people, and it takes a lot. It takes so much from you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and all those feelings can be overwhelming and hard to let go of. But like I think something that we did a good job of was like integrating our kids into our life. Yes, there are a ton of things that change when you become a parent, and you have to not do some things and put off some things and make them a priority in a million different ways. But just because you're making them a priority, you know, sometimes 60% of the time, doesn't mean that 40% you could be the priority. Like even like our date nights, for example, like teaching our kids that like, hey, on Wednesday, this is mommy and daddy's day. Please don't interrupt us. We're going to order in. We're going to watch our movie. We're going to have our thing. We're going to set you guys up a kid date. But this is special for mommy and daddy, and this is what we're going to do. And when they're little, will we get interrupted? Heck yeah. Do we still get interrupted a little bit now? Heck yeah. But as they've gotten older, they've learned, oh, let's like, that's not something we need to ask for. Like, let's give mommy and daddy their time. Or they even get excited for us. And they're like, it's like your date. Like, what are you guys going to do? What are you going to watch? And like, they grow and like respect that, because that's something that we have like shared with them, that that's what we do. We are a couple, we are a unit outside of you guys, and this is something we want to do. Or even like traveling. When we've gone to like, I don't know, like road trips or vacations, and we do the things for the kids, and then there's like an exhibit or something that like Aiden and I want to see. We're like, okay, now we're going to go to the botanical garden, let's say. And they're like, oh, we don't want to do the botanical garden. I say, okay, but I do. So I drove you here, okay? Your daddy paid for us to all get up in here. We're going to do what mommy and daddy want to do for a second, okay? Like, you don't run the show. Respectfully. And again, you don't have to like yell at your kids and, you know, that make a scene, but it's like, no, you don't need to have an attitude about that. You got to do what you want to do. We are also people and individuals, and we're going to do something that's fun for us, and it's not going to kill you for us to do this thing for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I think doing that with the kids from a young age has just taught them to like, hey, this is what we do. We do this. We go and do these things. When mommy and daddy do this is their time. We're going to learn not to interrupt it. We're going to learn to respect it. And I think that that's huge, like introducing those things to kids at a young age, and not like bringing everything down to them and like just catering to them only, but having like a balance of making sacrifices for your kids. Absolutely. But also like not forgetting that, girl, this is still your life and you get to enjoy it, and make it so your kids can enjoy it as well. But like, also you, like, you're a big part of this. You don't have to lose everything about yourself or about your life or your personality because you have kids. Something else that's also been like huge in not having me like regret my decision to get married early and start having kids so quickly and having multiple kids is my husband. He's literally my best friend. We can laugh and be silly together. We can be so stupid together. We can be serious. He's like my rock. Like, I'm that for him. Like, and not perfect, because we're not perfect. We get on each other's nerves, and I know his little buttons, and I will push his buttons and frustrate him sometimes just to be a little butthole, okay? And he'll do the same to me. But, like, at the end of the day, we're best friends, and we love each other deeply, and we respect and admire each other deeply. And I think that is absolutely huge. When you have a partner that sees that, like, you're losing yourself a little bit. Aiden's been amazing throughout the years of us having kids and growing our family. To be like, hey, you need to get out. You need to go have a girls' night. Babe, like, why don't you do some art? You haven't been creative in a while. Like, you need to do something. Why don't you go get out and do something? Or when I'm like, oh, I feel like I want to go do something, but, like, I don't know what. And he's like, well, let's think about something. And he'll literally just, like, list stuff out. And, like, that's been huge to be able to have, like, that. And then when I go out and do stuff, and then I come back like, babe, that was amazing. It was so much fun, and this is what I did. And, like, he listens, and he's like, great. Like, I'm genuinely so happy for you. Like, I'm glad you did that. Like, that's huge, having that person and, like, that support in my husband to be like, girl, go out and do the thing. These kids are fine. They're all right. And when I leave the house on times that I do, he's not going to parent like I'm going to parent. And he's not going to be attentive like I'm going to be attentive. And those are things that I've had to learn and, like, work through. That's like, okay, well, I'm not going to go because you're not going to do it, like, whatever. And he's like, that's silly. And I've come to learn, like, with maturity and just, like, growing and trusting him. It's like, girl, that is so silly. Is it going to die? Probably not. Like, they're in safe hands. Their dad is capable. And I think that's something that it's easy for women to get caught up in, is feeling like we're the only ones that can do it like we do it. That is true. We are the only ones that can do it like we do it. But you have to let the dad figure out how he's going to do it. You have to let the dad figure out how he wants to parent, how he's going to handle tough situations, how he's going to handle whiny kids, how he's going to handle sick kids, how he's going to handle them being bored and asking him a million questions. Like, you have to let him do that, because if he does it, then, like, you can be frustrated when he doesn't step in and do those things. Like, you can still be frustrated because bro should still try, but, like, also it's kind of like you can't really be frustrated because when he's, like, offered to try, like, you don't let him because you want to do it yourself type deal. So I mean, like, it's definitely a control thing about, like, you got to give up that control and you got to trust that, like, Jesus take the wheel. Like, it's like, nah, well. And you can do baby steps. I'm going to go to a coffee shop for 30 minutes. See how they all fare. You come home, they don't burn the house down. Great. Now you know you can go for maybe an hour. You do that. Again, nothing crazy happens. Great. You can try an hour and a half. But, like, you got to give the dad and your husband that time, if you have that, to show that he's capable of doing these things and learn to trust him so that you can let him do that, because he should and he's capable of it, and you need to go do something that's just you for a little bit. Something that I do think about often, though, when I decorate the house, and, like, luckily Aiden does not care how I decorate our house. He gives me free reign. Like, I put my art up everywhere. He does not care. He loves my style. He likes how I decorate. He doesn't feel like some people are like, oh, like, where's his space? Where's, like, girl, that man does not care. He loves how I do our house. And I'm very fortunate because some men can be, like, more specific and have, like, a say or whatever. But Aiden gives me free reign in that because I'm creative and he knows that I am, and he lets me express myself in that way and, like, decorating our home. But, like, one thing that, like, I do, like, think about from time to time, which, like, just pops in my head like a little sweet daydream, is, like, to, like, I make the rest of the rooms more, like, homey and, like, homey, I think. Still, like, creative little touches, but, like, more like homey. Our bedroom has, like, the most, like, art and, like, color and, like, whimsical stuff. And sometimes I'm just like, it would be so nice to have, like, my own apartment. Like, if I just lived in my apartment and it just was, like, decorated how I wanted it to be, and, like, it stayed decorated. No one broke anything. No one, freaking took something off the wall and hid it under the couch for Lord knows why. Or, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I do daydream about that. I'm like, to have my own home. Like, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. And, who knows? Maybe that's something, that could be a reality for me down the road. It's like having, like, my own, like, little studio to, like, be creative and like do stuff like this in, and like make videos in, and paint in, like a paint studio slash makeup video making studio, like, and I could decorate it like however I wanted, and like paint the walls crazy colors and put cool designs on it. Like, that is like amazing to me. So long story short, do I regret my decision of starting a family young, of getting married young? No, I do not. And I think that that is not normal. I think my whole situation was not normal. I think that I've been very blessed to be able to say that I don't regret any of those things. And I think I've been very blessed with the people who have been in my life who have made the choices I've made much easier to have made. And that is my makeup done. What do we think? Is it cute? I needed this. I needed this chit chat and just sit back and do my makeup and be creative and relax. So thank you for listening to me go on and on and on. And from everything that I said, I hope you get this, that if you feel like you have lost your personality, who you are, you feel like you're regretting your decisions of motherhood, take a step back and try to make time in your schedule and your life to have that time alone. And practice asking yourself those questions, being real with your answers, and figuring out who you are and what you need to not feel that way anymore. And if you feel like you don't feel like that, and you are blessed and fortunate enough to not feel overwhelmed, and you feel confident in your decision of creating a family, and you love where you're at in your life right now, then take that positivity and love for life and excitement that you have for yourself and pour it into someone else and encourage them, and maybe send somebody, you know, a Starbucks gift card to get them a coffee, or send another mom that you know a meal, or invite them out to pull them out and let them feel that same thing that you feel, because we all need to feel like individuals, because that is who we are. It doesn't matter if you're married, doesn't matter if you have 1 kid, 2 kids, 10 billion kids. You still are you, and you still have a right to do the things that you want to do that bring you joy. And that is not only good for you and your soul, but it's good for your family. When you feel like your cup is full, I know we've all heard this a million times, but it's real life. Like, if your cup is full, then you can pour out so much more than you can if your cup is empty. Let's go out and just be a light and love to each other. Getting that invite might be the thing that just saves sis that week. It really might, like, with all seriousness. But that is it for this video. This is where I will leave you with my cute purple look that I had so much fun doing in my empty house. I'm going to continue to enjoy the silence, and I will catch you guys in my next video. In the meantime, if you want to keep up with me, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I post on all of those all the time. I post more of like my day-to-day life on my Instagram stories. So if you want to follow me over there, that's @_Kalaiah, KELAIAH, all lowercase. You can follow me over there, and I post all types of everything that's happening in our life throughout the day. But that is it for this video, and I will see you guys next time.